Hello lovely friends, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the weekly book steep where we talk about books and drink tea. And I do have tea this morning. It is the Kakadu Sunset tea from Black Brews in my favourite mug. I need this mug today because I am recovering from a book event yesterday. A book event that I could be at again today, but I need to recover. So here we are, drinking tea and talking books. It's always probably not a great idea when I'm wearing really bright red lipstick. Anyway, that's okay, we're going to move on. If you're unfamiliar with the weekly book steep, it's where I wrap up the last 7 days worth of reading of books that I've read. I have different categories that I talk about. I let you know if I've got books that are in projects or books that are coming up in projects, but I don't necessarily review them here. The main reviews are things that are not being talked about anywhere else. I read 14 different books this week, including a number of picture books because I was working, and I also had a lot of picture books to read this week. I had a total of 2,380 pages. I had 5 rereads this week, 2 DNFs, and 3 books for projects. I'm going to start by talking about one of the kids titles that I have for review. So again, if you're unfamiliar with me and my channel, I do have a kids channel where I specifically talk about these books. However, if someone does send me a copy for review, I do review it on both channels. This is Up, Down, Over and Through by Jane Godwin and Kim Drain. I adore Jane Godwin. I love her work so much. And the illustrations by Kim in this book are also fabulous. This is a really gorgeous exploration of play, particularly at a playground. It uses positional language or prepositions to help describe where they are in their play and in relation to the playground. So going up and down and over and through different things. It's about 2 children who meet at the playground, who play together, and it is really, really beautiful. The illustrations are stunning, and this is a book that, one, is perfect for when teachers are teaching positional language at school as part of maths and just general literacy. But I'm now torn between keeping this for myself because this was a much bigger part of my teaching when I was teaching a younger year level, and now I just want to give it to my niece because she adores a playground. Like, it is her favorite thing in the entire world. It is absolutely beautiful, so thank you very much to Hachette and their imprint Lothian Children's Books for sending me this review copy. Loved it. I think it's great. I had 2 rereads that were not children's picture books. That was All Systems Red and Artificial Condition by Martha Wells. I'm not going to talk about them now because these are also part of an ongoing project that I'm doing where I'm rereading the entire Murderbot Diaries series in order to get to Platform Decay, hopefully before its release. And I've started filming that vlog, including these 2. All the current books that are out, I am immersive reading them with the graphic audios. Platform Decay I have as an e-arc, so I won't be able to do that, but this is coming. And the other project book was No One Is Safe by Ellie Marnie, which I now have a physical copy of after yesterday. I'm so excited. I'm going to reread this because I want to annotate it. If you want to hear my thoughts on No One Is Safe, go and watch my last video, which was my February buzzword vlog, and you'll hear me gush a little bit more about the author and her books in a vlog later this week. Which brings us to books that I haven't talked about anywhere yet. The first one is a middle fiction graphic novel called Ivy and Bearlock Holmes, The Case of the Missing Flower by Kristyna Litten. This was a book that I picked up when I was at a children's bookstore last weekend. I think I may have mentioned it in the buzzword vlog. I don't remember if I talked about the actual book. Essentially, it's a take on Sherlock Holmes. You have a grandfather and a granddaughter who are investigating a missing flower. It's really fun, it's full of puzzles. We love a graphic novel format, and I'll be taking this into the classroom because I have yet again another class that are adoring graphic novels. I also read a Valentine's Day short story by Jax Calder called Valentine's Day. This was available in her newsletter, and it is a short, queer, contemporary romance about Tom and Keenan who work at the same place and they fall in love. So it's a workplace romance. It's super short, it's super sweet. If I say any more, I'm kind of basically going to be telling you the entire story. But again, just says how much I adore Jax Calder's writing because they are so easy to read, beautiful, and the characters are always great. Then I read Code Blue and Code Word by N.R. Walker, which are the 2nd and 3rd book in her Atlas series, which is a rockstar romance series. It's also on my series to read this year, so I've ticked that off. I listened to the audiobooks for both of these. They're both narrated by Nick J. Russo. In Code Blue, we're following Steve and Jeremy. Steve is the head of security for the band, and he is queer and has had a crush on Jeremy, who is one of the band members, for a number of years, but he's very professional. He has no intention of ever acting on it. But then Jeremy starts to receive some really concerning mail from a fan, and the band managers and the police and everyone is very concerned. And so security is upped around the band members, and Steve is one of the very few people that Jeremy trusts to be in his space and to be there all the time. And as it turns out, Jeremy has feelings for Steve, but doesn't really know how to communicate that, and hasn't really addressed his own feelings, and has never really considered himself queer, but knows that there is an attraction between him and Steve. And it's kind of a rockstar bodyguard, forced proximity story. It does get very angsty and dramatic. I mean, it's N.L. Walker, and I know I can trust the process with her, and it doesn't irritate me as much as some other authors when they play around with these tropes. So I had a good time with that one. And then Code Word is following two other band members, Blake and Luke, who have been the best of friends. Like, they're inseparable. The band has since gone its separate ways. They've decided they're no longer performing together. They've all got different ventures. They're still staying in contact, sort of, but everyone's kind of on their own different path. And Blake and Luke in particular are struggling with the fact that the band is no longer together. This is a best friends to lovers story, as both of them have to figure out that actually maybe they really have been in love with each other for the entire time that they've known each other. They just haven't known what to call it. They were literally inseparable. When those feelings become too much and one half realizes that the other half is really not cluing in to this at all, there is a separation, and it does cause a lot of friction between all of the band members and all of the friends, because some of them are clued in, some of them are not, and to some of the characters it feels like people are playing sides. It was really interesting, given that the band is already separated in this book, that you have this story because everyone has to confront where they are now, what their relationship is like, and they have to rebuild because they're a group of guys who have been together since they were teenagers. They've been in high, intense situations. They've been under the spotlight for their entire lives, and now they're doing their own thing. Like, not everyone is acclimatizing to that, and I think that is a really interesting theme to explore, particularly if you're going to go into a rock star or even a celebrity kind of romance. What happens on the other side of that, and how does everyone cope? I do also like the fact that in this partnership, one of them is at the start of the book dating the other's sister, and the sister is the one who's like clued in and is like, guys, get your act together. I love that, because there's no drama or angst around that relationship when that dissolves. It just is, I think you better pay a little bit more attention to the relationships that you already have, and I love that. Then I read Marking Time. We can't get through a video if you don't have editing stuff in here. The book is called Making Time. I don't know why I keep calling it Marking Time. I know what it's called. By Taylor E. Weston. I received a review copy from the author of this book. It is a hockey romance, and you have a new captain of a team who has taken over from somebody else, but he's not playing the best hockey he's ever played. He's feeling a lot of pressure about taking on this captaincy, and he ends up injured after getting into a fight on the ice and breaking some bones in his hand, so he's out for a couple of weeks. And he ends up meeting a single dad barista who also moonlights as a stripper. The two of them hit it off, and they really, really get along. Our single dad is a bit of a black cat because he's raising his son on his own. His son is absolutely adorable. Oh my God. Rowan is just delightful. He's trying to make it on his own. He's trying to do it without support. And our hockey player is able to actually come in and after a very disastrous meet cute where the hockey player destroys a snowman in the front yard when he is drunk, he's able to rebuild sort of trust in a relationship. I love it because you have meddling mums and you have well-meaning friends and teammates, and our single dad is just looking for community, and they all rally around him and are really supportive of him even when things don't go quite right, and they are just so warm and welcoming. Like, it's the queer normative world that you would like to have exist, with people helping each other out, and I just adored it. I thought it was really, really fun. I do love that Rowan has a stuffed toy sloth called Bunny. Like, that just brings, it's the little details like that just bring me joy. But anyway, Rowan is utterly adorable, and can't recommend this book enough. Like, just a super nice, easy read. And then I read Below the Hunter Moon by A. Knightley, which is the second book in the, oh my God, why have I mentally blanked on the name? Silver Rapids series. I told you I was tired. Let's go back to my notes, shall we? So this is the story of Silas and Sam. It takes place directly after the first book, and I have to say I didn't love this one quite as much as I enjoyed the first book. Silas is a wolf shifter, and he has had to become a pack alpha. He's always known he's going to be an alpha, but his family's pack was led by his uncle, and his uncle is not a very nice alpha, and Silas's family fled with him when he was quite young. He's recently stepped up and taken sort of the title of alpha with his group of friends, the people that he works with. They're really close. They're all wolf shifters, but it's not a thing that sits easily on his shoulders. He's very concerned that he could become like his uncle and he doesn't want that. Sam is a human who he met when he was a kid. Like they both met when they were very, very small, and he recognized straight away that there was something different about Sam, but then they haven't seen each other for a long time. Sam is very resistant to being involved with Silas. And the thing with this book that I probably found the most challenging was that it just felt like it didn't flow as smoothly, because you're getting a lot of cuts to things in the past, you're getting a lot of hints at things that have happened in the past, and you're kind of jumping around a little bit, and it just felt like it was a little too much for me. So while it featured lots and lots of things that I really loved, there was also just a little element of I always just felt a little bit off kilter while reading it. So take that as you will, but it is another series that I've caught up on for my series to read this year. Alrighty, which just brings me to the things that I'm planning on reading this coming week. I am planning on reading It Seemed Like a Good Idea by Lauren Blakely, Anderson in Bloom by Jennifer Dugan, and also Good Young Men by Gary Lonesborough, all the books that I have for review on NetGalley that are coming out in the next week or so. So I'm hoping to get to those, and then I'm hopefully some more Motorbot Diaries and other bits and pieces. So stay tuned. In the comments below, I'd love to know, have you read any of these books, or are you planning on picking any of them up? Feel free to let me know. If you just want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave any kind of heart emoji. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.